Welcome to the Las Vegasville podcast, brought to you by Jump Studios, where we cover topics related to everything happening around Sin City, including the social media scene, food, and a whole lot more, with some of the best, most popular accounts around the city, and talk about their success in Vegas and beyond. I'm your host, Philip Zhang, aka Las Vegas Phil. Check me out on IG or TikTok. On with the show. Welcome to this week's show. This is a very impromptu show, mainly because an article on Eater.com came out a couple weeks ago entitled, "Please Put Your Light Away at the Restaurant," and with a little subtitle that says, "No one asked to be part of your content." This is a very hot topic, and especially in Vegas, lights like these are a necessity, especially with dark restaurants like Carbone, like so many other places in town. This is the way that we blow up restaurants and are able to showcase things, because if we didn't have a light, I don't think the content would look good at all in more than 50% of the restaurants. However, we do see how this can be very bothersome to a guest or a customer watching this happen. Someone could easily be spending their 50th anniversary, spending hundreds of dollars on dinner, and a jackass like me has their light on in their face, and it's very much a distraction. We're going to kind of dive into this topic now because it is a hot topic that nobody will talk about anywhere else. With us today is Jules Kim, returning guest, and now Korean H Mart correspondent.
That's right.
Yeah.
H Mart hit me up.
Shout out Korean Unni.
Yes.
And then we also have Angel back on the show by demand. His first appearance was stellar. Go follow him at Key to My Heart Official for all things food, Lao, Viet, all that stuff. And it's good to have you guys on.
Thank you,
Thank
Phil.
you for having us.
Thanks for the demand, aka Jay and Tyler.
Hey, not Tyler.
Paul,
Yeah.
Paul too. Just Shay.
The demand
Happy
is
belated
crazy.
birthday, Phil.
Happy
Thanks.
belated birthday.
Appreciate it.
What'd
That's-
you do for your birthday?
Well, we kept it really low key. I just went to a few bars at Arts District. I haven't been down there in maybe like 6 months, so there was a lot of cool spots I'd never been to yet. Never even been to the Colorado building. I didn't even know that was open.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
What does the mayor of Las Vegas eat for his birthday dinner?
So because I have so many fancy dinners all the time, I kept it super low key. I actually got drunk food. I went to Cornish Pasty.
Oh,
Cornish
crush
pasties,
some beers.
So fucking good.
low maintenance.
Yeah, low maintenance. I keep it low maintenance usually for dinner.
On your birthday?
Yeah.
I feel
want a
very
green-
pressured on my birthdays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to pick like
Yeah.
good dinner spots.
Like hosting people and stuff like that.
No, like picking, like telling Tommy where I want to go. I'm like, ooh, it's my one day. Like anything
have a
goes.
go-to?
No.
Okay.
Where did you go last year?
I wanted to go to a buffet. I was like, I just want to go and get like plates and plates of crab legs and just like bust out of my pants. But the timing was not right, and we were on our way to go to Bacchanal. No, first we were gonna go to Wicked Spoon because I'd never been there, and then I looked it up on my way. I was like, they're closed. They're not even in
Yeah, they're only open
operation.
for lunch.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? So then I was like, I don't want to wait in line for Bacchanal or Bellagio and Wynn. Those are the only buffets now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and Palms.
Palms.
So we went to Nico's at Durango.
Great alternative.
Great alternative.
Was that where you ate the Finding Nico?
Yeah, finding Nico, some king crab legs. Do you have a go-to birthday dinner spot?
Honestly, my favorite birthday spot is Mastro's.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Butter cake.
Butter cake, like a Snake River Farms tomahawk, like lobster mashed potatoes. That's like my birthday.
Dirty martini.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we did Ayumi's birthday at Mastro's maybe 2020, and it was a great experience.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel pressure to like invite people and like
should've.
organize. Sometimes I do.
Oh, I see
Sometimes
what you mean.
have,
Yeah.
but I'd rather just have it be as least complicated as possible.
Yeah. I don't really do birthday parties. I just like to do it me and Tommy. I don't know. I don't like to be the center of attention on
You
that
like to have,
day
like,
for
little
some reason.
Demure birthdays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cute.
All right, so let's get into lights. What kind of light do you guys normally use now? Do you have yours on?
I have mine on me. I think like everyone uses the one that I have. It's bigger than that, but I use it because it holds a charge really well. And I like how it lights.
I like that one better. I just got this one because my old school one crapped out, and this is not bright enough for me.
Yeah, I like this one because it's like bright enough for shoots and stuff like that, and I can carry it around.
Do you have an
And it
Amazon
fits
link?
in my purse. I'm just kidding. No.
Okay.
No, not an affiliate.
All right.
I have that one too. I have that one, and then the like the Alex Earl selfie light that clips on. But I want that one because this one is too big for me. I like to be like, I don't know. I'm still shy with the lights.
I understand. The Alex Earl one you're talking about is just the clip-on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
one
one.
that
is
I think
like
the one you got
lower
recommended
tier.
from Perletta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one that you were talking about with Lindsay that everybody has now?
Yeah.
I think Jay has that one too.
The noodle lift, food lift. When you're solo, it's the best one.
Yes.
Yeah, fits in your pocket.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
sure.
It's better than the stand-up ring lights. Where
Yeah.
if you're going TikTok live or YouTube live and you're eating in front of
Mm-hmm.
an entire restaurant, which I think we've all witnessed that at some point.
Yeah.
What do you think of that when it is set up like that? You see a vlogger.
I always just think like, oh, it couldn't be me. But like at the same time, I'm like, get your bag. Like they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
I work in social media, so I would never like stick my nose up on someone who's okay being more cringe than I am. Like I'm like cringe level 5 and they're like cringe level 10. I'm like, go for it. You know, people are like, I think in like the podcast you talk about like follow your dreams and stuff. I'm like, okay, do you with the ring light setup?
Yeah. I could never either, but I'm sure when people see me with like my little selfie light and I have my phone like this and they're not in this world, that probably is the equivalent to them. Like it's probably still cringy.
Just as cringe,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're like, oh, like who does she think she is? Kind of thing.
There is like a public, or like if you're not in our realm, there's an outside perspective of how people like see social media. And even if we think it's a little cringe, like their like thoughts of the cringe level is like
Yeah.
on 20.
It's either really cringe or really cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're like, "Oh my gosh, do you have a page? Like, can I follow you?"
Yes.
Or they'll try to sneak a little BTS in, kind of like when you guys were filming the podcast at Shang's. A lot of people were filming BTS. Yeah, it goes either way.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
either-
think
yeah.
public opinion of like being a content creator is like positive 100%. Like I think even though there are supportive people, I think there's people who like kind of like a little like think you don't have a real job or look down at you a little bit. So the whole light in the restaurant thing, I totally get it.
Yeah. And I fear that we have definitely been sent in the group chat, like, you know, multiple times, BTS shots to somebody's friend, like, oh my God, look at these people. Or maybe like, what's the app where you post right away when it tells you to? Like what you're doing?
I know what you're talking
The only
about.
one that tells us on.
Yeah, that one.
The Gen
Be
Z.
something.
Yeah, the
Be
Gen
real.
Z one.
Be real, yeah.
Someone's
Yeah.
probably snapped us on Be Real, maybe on Snapchat somewhere. Like we've definitely
Influencers in the wild.
Yes, we've been sent somewhere.
Yeah, that influencers in the wild phrase, I think like in like a content creator world is like, oh, that's so cute, it's funny. But then like in the real world, that's like ew, influencers in the wild.
Gross.
Yeah.
I recall several times shooting at Momofuku in the regular dining room where it looks like a spaceship landed in the middle of the restaurant because we have so many lights going on. And it's got to bother other people. Probably the most notable, most heated time we used lights was I hosted a dinner at Joe's Prime Steaks and Stone Crab. And several people came up to us telling us we needed to stop. We had a Joe's corporate representative there, and they started just comping food, buying all the drinks to kind of settle it. But it was still very heated.
Wow.
We had that happen at when we went for like a influencer event at Lucchini. There's like a speakeasy, and
Oh.
somebody like flipped out on like me and Tony, but like I get it, like they're in Vegas, right? They're on vacation. Like in any other city, but like in Vegas, like you might have spent like a huge amount of money to travel here, and the places on the strip are not cheap, and you might just want to be low key, and then like boom, like this huge light. And I'm very conscious of it. I always like have my light down, and I start it at like 5-10%, and I'll be like, all right, this picture's ugly. Like, I'm over it, because I get that other people, you know, that stuff's expensive. But he flipped out, and they did exactly the same thing. They ended up comping the drinks. But, like, I did it. He said something to me, but then, like, Paul came up to him and was like, hey, I'm going to, like, he didn't know the exchange happened. He's like, hey, I'm gonna have this light out. Like, I hope you don't mind. And he's like, oh, it's okay. And then when Tony did it, he's like, are you fucking serious? And then he was upset. And yeah, he left after they comped his drinks. And we put our lights away.
But Lucino, you guys were there.
Yes, absolutely.
I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah.
But I have had similar experiences. Those I feel like it's because we're hosting influencers, so it's different when it's like you said at Joe's. It's different when it's 10 lights going all at once and people are kind of standing up and around the table
Are you
versus.
talking about Cathedral?
Dang, I was gonna bring that up.
I mean, there are a couple incidences.
I've had dinner there like for myself, and I did use the light, but we were like in a little corner table. But it does affect the vibe. Like the whole vibe there is like it being a certain way, and I think that's part of what people pay for. So when you take that away, it devalues it and the experience. So I get it. I've done where I've told the place like, can I sit away? Like, hey, I make content. Like, can I sit away? And like they've respected that. But if that conversation doesn't happen and I go somewhere and it feels like an issue, I just won't do it. And I'm like, it's not that deep. I'm just gonna like film what I can and like it's fine. I don't want to like ruin somebody's night or their anniversary or whatever.
I mean, us having to be mindful as well, I think, is important. A lot of creators, especially new ones, will keep the light on the entire time or things like that, not understanding. Sammy, Lindsay, and I went to dinner just recently, and a table next to us asked us to shut off our lights. Fortunately, we're at dessert. But
Yeah.
And you guys,
we did.
yeah.
Yeah.
What if they asked you appetizer course?
Then I guess I would probably ask to be moved to a different table.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, on the flip side, the client or the business that had invited us, maybe they need to absolutely be more mindful as well and consider putting us in the PDR, putting us in a corner. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure.
Or doing like maybe like an off time, like a non-peak time, like looking at the books when there aren't a lot of reservations or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good way to go too. This article does say rude quite a bit. Shining an LED as bright as a car headlight into the eyes of fellow diners just because you want a clean shot of the butter plate is rude. Nobody's shooting the butter plate. Anyway.
I've seen people shoot the butter plate.
What the fuck? Why? Why you shoot the butter?
Yeah.
You never.
Yeah.
Oh my
We were talking about
god.
Yeah. Oh, dang, I didn't know you watched
National Butter
it.
Day? What's going on here? So they're suggesting maybe, I don't know, like there are other, Vegas is probably the light capital for influencers. I don't think there's any other city that uses lights more than we do. LA, for example, I mean, I don't know how they get the shots even at the restaurant.
They do lights now.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you influence that?
We definitely.
You asked them to?
LA, we definitely did.
Okay.
I make fun of
Influencers
our
in the
LA guys
wild.
now because they use lights. I'm like,
But guys like Irregular Lens are still against it. I hung out with Jack's Dining Room at Golden Steer. He still uses the phone light only,
I do that sometimes.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they use, yeah. Because, like, I get shy, too. And if it's a dark, nice restaurant and it's just me and Tommy, I won't use the real light. I'll just use my flashlight just real quick. And when I feel like I have another influencer and there's, like, strength in numbers, then I'm like, okay, I'll use my light.
You're shy.
I want to be mindful and demure.
So a phone light is demure.
Yeah, it's not as obnoxious, you know?
So that's like the takeaway. Like if you're gonna use a light, just like be mindful and demure with it, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And also, like, maybe if I had 500,000 followers or whatever amount that you have,
same
I would
way.
be like, I don't care, deal with my light.
No, I don't look at it that way as for followers. I mean, you pay for the meal, you want to share the experience, you should be able to do that in your own way.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to Joe Robuchon, I actually, no, that's not true. I didn't use the light at all at Joe Robuchon.
But you're
when I
Las
went.
Vegas Phil. You feel that way too, right?
I feel that way
Yeah.
too. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why wouldn't you let Phil use his light? What do you mean? Like, imagine, like, how are you gonna tell a steak is raw if there's no light? It'll just look like,
Yeah.
yeah,
How are you going to tell the Hainan chicken is pink?
yeah. People won't
Better be
like
pink.
comment on it about how like raw it is, and it's still moving because they can't tell because the light, no light.
Funny you mentioned that. We were at Shark. Bobby Flay at a restaurant for about 5 minutes at Palms called Shark.
Terrible name.
And he was there.
Terrible name.
And they put the media guys on one side and the influencer on another. They didn't have any lights. And then because of lights, we found out that the chicken was fucking raw.
See, safety.
Yeah, and we had to send it back. And I had to tell the media guys, like, hey, you know, you might want to
Use
Yeah.
the light.
check this out because this chicken thigh was fucking red.
Saved
Yeah.
lives that day.
Yeah, saved lives. Holy hell. And Bobby Flay was right there just hanging out.
Yeah.
But it was the first time he had seen the lights and he was amused, I guess.
Wasn't he in your shot or something? He took a photo of you.
Yeah, Amber took a photo of me taking a photo of him taking a photo of me.
I need to see this photo.
Very Inception.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah, this
Show
was.
it to you. I'll show it to you.
I gotta dig it up.
By the way, can I say something real quick so you guys can cover?
Paul's gonna say something. Do you want to come up and?
What I say? What I say?
So you don't have to edit this in. The way that the article was wrote, I believe that she was, or he, whoever this was, kind of wrote it in the side of this person not being the majority. Like, they were saying, "Oh, I probably will be. I'm probably gonna get shot for that," or you know what I mean. He was. They were kind of like defensive about it, thinking that opinion of no lights being rude and all that is a minority opinion than a majority opinion. What do you guys think about that? Well, how many people do you think they think like this versus what we think?
The majority think like that. That's what I think.
I think so too. I think there's like a small amount of people who think like it's cool, and they're like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like, "Oh my God, look, they're filming."
Creators
Because
or people.
I will say, like, when you are filming something at a place, sometimes like the people think it's like extra bomb. They're like, "What? They're fucking filming this
They're
like
professional.
this baked potato. This baked potato's about to hit so hard." And they get hype. So I think it helps sell stuff sometimes.
Well, I've been doing the lights for a very long time.
Influence everyone to do the
but I can tell. I know this is all. They're talking about me.
They are. They are.
No, I
You
believe
should
that.
retweet her and be like, "At me next time."
But the times, you know, as you do this, how long have you been? Like 15 years now. Like I believe we've been doing way over a decade. As the years go by, I believe more people are converting to the lights being okay. Like when I first started this, and I had a light in a restaurant, I would like literally get yelled at, or you know, even if you didn't have a light, taking photo of the food wasn't even a thing. So they would think like some people would ask us, "Are you stealing the recipe? Like why are you taking photos of?" You know, like I started from then. Now what has from there to now, I believe within the next few years, because we might be the early doers of this, but within the next few years, it might come to a point where what we think is the majority and what this person thinks is a minority.
I
That's
do
my
know
point.
more and more like people who are not like content creators do have a light, just so even if they don't care to like grow, like they want to show a nice picture. There might be like the foodie in their food group or their friend group, and they want to just post like nicer quality, well lit photos.
Or girls
I've
just
met-
going out.
Yeah,
too.
and girls
just
going out.
They have
I've
lights.
met
Yeah.
girls and dudes that has lights they're not creators.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah,
not creators.
they
They
just-
just want a nice group photo
Yeah,
when
photo.
they're in a nightclub or you know what I mean? Because you can never get that right. So that means we're kind of moving in. You know what I mean? I think at what point does that threshold turn over to the majority agreeing with the lights than not? You know, feels like it's never.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. For a regular dining.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Vegas is way more influencer friendly than most cities in America, arguably the most influencer friendly. And so servers, customers, general managers probably see lights being broken out at every freaking restaurant.
That's true.
know.
I feel like they're getting acclimated to like just
Yeah.
having it around all
we've
the time.
We've lubed them up.
Yeah.
For
We've lubed them up.
But every single time, whenever we've gotten a complaint, it's the venue wanting us to use the lights, but not thinking about other people that are going to complain. It's never like, if it's an invite, it's never the fact that we weren't supposed to use the lights, but we busted out and somebody was pissed. It's the venue knew, and we were set up to do this, but the way they set us up, it's kind of bothering other people. It's never the other way around. Except, what was that? Chef Persh.
Oh, Story of Amuse. I got
Did you
into
start?
I got into that too. Yeah, there was a guy sitting next to Tony. I was using just a regular Alex Earl light. And
Which is like a very
Yeah.
little for us.
Yeah.
trying to be
Yeah,
mindful,
it's-
but the guy next to Tony across was like, oh, I hate social media. I hate Instagram. So I confronted him.
What did you say?
I said, well, basically he asked, is this what you guys do all the time? Is
You're like, yeah.
videos of food with lights? And I was like, yeah, we love Taylor Persh. This is our best way to support her in this business. I mean, you're here for the same reason, and I'm sorry that the light bothered you.
I wonder how he found out about the dinner.
Yeah.
I didn't use back
Maybe
the second one.
maybe
because
from
of that.
social
I knew-
media.
She told me not to use it when I went there.
Well, you
Oh,
well, you
because
did,
of that
I don't know
incident?
if it was because of that, but yeah, the light was an issue. The 20,000 under the under the sea, that whole thing. The light was the issue. So the second time I went to the Palms one, I just didn't use it.
So Paul, then how do you feel about lights? You're like, fuck it,
I'm an
this
advocate
is what I
of
do.
that. So if they don't
Whole
like
fucking
it,
business.
I'm pretty much not going to. I mean, there's a lot of cases where I can get the content done without the lights. I don't really like myself when I'm eating. When I'm shooting myself eating, I can't really like myself and stuff like that. So I have to deal with whatever the light situation is there. But I'm a big advocate of, if you're inviting me, you need to be able to set me up where I can use the light.
Do you
If not, I need to either move or the whole scope changes for me.
do you film at dinners that you just go to and pay for
Yes. And I use my lights there.
outside of like
But I'm very conscious of my lights in those situations.
yeah.
Because I'm just another guest, and I don't want to ruin any other guest's experience. But if I'm there for a job, they should know that. This is why if you do an influencer campaign with like 8-9 food guys, you have to understand, and if it's a dark place, you have to understand all the neighboring tables going to be affected by 9 lights. Maybe you should give us a PDR. Maybe you should put us away in a corner or whatever that is. But if that doesn't get done, we've had many cases where that didn't get done, and people go, "No, it's okay." Everybody, and I tell the server now every single time when I'm in that situation, although it's an invite, when the server comes, I'm like, "Hey, just FYI, we're gonna shine a shit tons of light around here, and it is going to bother the neighboring." And 100% of the time, servers go, "They don't mind. They're okay. You guys are good." And then they complain. You know what I mean? But at least I get that in, so they know. I told you, this is what's gonna happen. So I kind of lay the bridge in the beginning, saying, "Just FYI, you guys set us here. I see people around us. We're gonna use I tell them, I'm gonna use a lot of lights."
Instead of non-smoking, you have non-influencer.
Yeah, it's-
dialogues.
I think it is inevitable, but people really should be mindful of it, especially at like nicer places.
Do you think
Like
they
maybe
get,
don't go
one-star
100.
reviews because of this?
Get like
Yeah, I have a story about that. Yeah.
Please.
So my first shoot at Golden Steer was in the main dining room with the light, and they immediately got a 1-star review because of my jackassery shooting Cherry's Jubilee.
I mean, I'm
And it's a table. So how do you not shoot the table side service? You know what I mean?
Well, they don't allow external lights in the dining room anymore.
Can people
soon
use
as-
their cell phone light?
Kind of, but they will probably
They'll
ask
tell
them
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Radio Heather went just for dinner as a paid customer. They told her to put her light away like immediately.
Oh, that video that blew up, right?
No, well, I brought her in
Oh.
for a separate thing after because she paid for dinner. She couldn't shoot anything.
I'm sure the 1-star review, like the revenue you helped bring in, was worth a 1-star review.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, people are on their 30th anniversary, 50th anniversary.
Yeah,
Someone's
they don't
about
see it like
to
that.
Yeah.
pop the question.
I wouldn't either if I was them. If I was not in this world and
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I'm just eating my dinner, my date night with my husband, I would get annoyed.
It's kind of like when a kid cries in the theater when like the movie's good.
Yeah. And you're like, no kids
What was
allowed.
the last time
Yeah.
you cried in a theater, Angel?
I just watched a movie this week and there was a kid crying in the theater like the whole time, and I was so lit. I was so upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cried.
I literally would have like busted a Golden Steer and be like, no kids in the movie. Like if I owned AMC, that's how mad I was.
Okay, so the kid wasn't crying because of the storyline. It was just
No.
they were just crying. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So what's the verdict? You guys say, put your lights away if you're affecting anyone at any given situation.
I think there's like a way you can shoot to not be super annoying most situations. But if it's like a nicer place and you do see people around, like I'm not gonna go for it. If I'm like, oh, I need this shot and someone's back there, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
But I would just be more mindful. I'd place my light down first, see like what percentage is at, and then see if I could get a shot without like bothering someone, like angling, like moving the dish a certain way so it's hitting a wall instead of a booth. But I think it's always going to be there now, especially clients and restaurants just need good content.
I don't know if using the lights in a more mannerful way is a thing. Like as soon as you put that light on, it's bothering somebody, even if it's in their face or not. I feel like, you know what I mean. So
You can
it's
still
either
be a little
zero
mindful.
or you use the light.
No, I think there's a way because, like, I think what bothers people is if you're,
Shining at them.
yeah, you're like, sometimes you're like, oh, and you shine it right at them versus like
Just
putting it on the
dialed up in real
table and doing
close.
it like that.
Yeah.
Or like if you're filming yourself and you need the light, like try to sit by a
Back,
wall,
yeah.
yeah, and put the light this way instead of putting it the opposite way.
Everybody should do that though. I think that's being done.
Yeah. So like if people make content or content creators, like they should just do some research on
aware of the
lighting.
surroundings.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
Like, do you need to
By
like
the way, I don't
100?
think you need 4 lights at any
No.
given situation.
No.
Like I don't think if there's 6 guys, I don't think every single guy should have a light shining on this one item that we're all shooting at the same time.
I feel
believe
like-
in maximum 2 lights theory.
2.
I feel like you're shading the people that you work with.
But sometimes the angle just doesn't have the light. If 4 people are shooting the same food, which is annoying.
That sucks. Yeah.
You should
that
do an
weird
episode
shadow.
about light etiquette.
shadow. this light
that's
going,
why
so
2
you
light theory
need-
has to
Sometimes
work.
you need 3.
Yeah, you should do
Yeah,
like a
3.
podcast about lighting etiquette for content creators. Like what's rude.
Yeah. And that's probably why we end up looking like dumb too when there are a bunch of people hovered over one dish. Because from the outside perspective, they're gonna be like, "It's just fried chicken. Like
It's
it's
just
just
bread."
fried chicken. Yeah, it's just bread. Like, are these
Just
people
sushi.
crazy? Like,
It's just butter.
yeah, it's just a spicy tuna roll. Like,
Yeah. Even like in a setting with like 10 people, I think when people see stuff and they don't know about lighting, like everyone's just like, it's here. And like everyone pulls out their light on 100% and it's like a restaurant and they're like, yeah, it's coming. And then like, that's annoying. I'm
I love
sure
how he's doing that
a
with
customer, yeah. You need a light, you need a light. Like it's very that. But if
It is
if you're
very
like,
that.
oh, okay, like a little cute, a little demure, like very mindful.
yeah.
It's
I
fine.
don't know if that's gonna actually. Is that gonna work?
It works.
It could work.
Maybe are you not cutesy and demure with the light?
He's
I
not.
guess not.
He's not.
He's
I don't know
not.
He
how
turns
to-
on like 100 and he's
What's
like,
your current
whoosh,
light? Is
whoosh. You know, like
It's like
It's a pretty big light.
yeah.
He does.
Yeah, show Paul's light compared to everyone
It's a pretty
else's
big
light.
light.
Yeah, I think that's a starfish.
You guys want a group photo?
Yeah, starfish uses the same style of light. And then who has the tennis racket? Laverne.
Doesn't
Yeah.
Amir-
Tennis racket is
Amir.
it's like
Yeah.
literally bringing a sun around.
I mean-
you know,
Oh, the
that-
tennis-
that
If a
thing
plane is landing,
B has one of those. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
with the handle with the microphone.
It's
handle.
like a sun. It's just literally a circle.
sun.
Yeah. But we use big lights at shoots, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I do have it.
Yeah.
At shoots, it's a free
these
for all.
lights?
Almost. They're like the
No
bigger
way,
ones
don't
like
use
this.
These lights ever, dude. Are you kidding me?
I feel like we brought
It's bigger,
one
but
time.
it's not this. It's,
Right.
it's just like a bigger.
It's like 4 of those. Maybe 3.
That's crazy. That's a lot. I think this is a lot. We're talking about this is probably should be your maximum.
Oh.
You know? And
Agreed.
this is what I'm telling you.
Agreed.
Like if you have this,
The one
there's
you
no,
use.
like demure. This is like, hey, the sun is on.
Brian Sauce is here.
It's fucking morning time. You know, we gotta just either deal with it or let me get out of here. You know.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
like
300K mentality.
these spectrum of opinions as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
See, we're the
I don't think
micro
this has anything to do
micro
with
over
follow-
here.
I don't think.
Yeah,
Definitely
no,
not
it
Oh,
is.
I wasn't
but-
talking about the follower count.
Oh.
I wasn't
Julius.
talking about that. No.
bring
just-
somebody. Bring
very,
somebody.
very, very focused on the follower thing and the
No.
info that comes with it. I'm okay with this light, you know, because
You're lying because you don't.
Yeah,
use
I've
that.
never seen you do that.
Yeah,
I've never
you're
seen you do that.
Yeah.
Never seen you do it.
You're lying.
Maybe
I'm
when you're
okay
by a
with it.
window. When you're by a window.
I don't do it, but I'm
It's a
okay
sin.
with it because it's now I'm realizing that when I shoot myself, it's almost like impossible to have somebody. I have to have somebody hold
Well,
this.
you need the clip-on.
Yeah, this is a little too big for the clip-on. This is.
I mean,
I'm
you-
gonna have to deal with the flashlight sometime soon, very soon. I promise you.
Now I know what to get for Paul's birthday.
Yeah. So Paul is
This
like
Sunday.
full on.
He's an advocate. He said.
Phil is
For
like
my thing is if this is an invite, you should be mindful. The venue should be mindful and put us in for success.
yeah.
Have you ever had a successful post based on just the phone light? I've never actually posted anything with the phone light.
What do you mean?
And none of
Like
my
I've never
posts-
used the light from the iPhone to do a video ever.
Oh.
Well, I've never shot like food with the iPhone light. People do that? Like
Yeah, Drew.
I have.
just the light here and you shoot food? with
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas Know It All or Vacation Know It All. It was big on the phone light. I think she just got a light.
I feel like it blows out too much when you do that, you know, but hey, whatever works. But I have heard though, I have heard that whenever I do shine my light, they like the tone of my light a lot. This is why by the way, Newer, and I'm really getting into this now. Newer doesn't make this light anymore. This is why this light is so shitty. They don't make this model anymore. And ask anyone, Tyler.
The diffusion's really good.
It's really good.
You should
I don't
start
know if
your
I
own
should
brand.
believe that.
Start
and
your
this
own
is why
brand.
I actually do what I do. I don't know if I should believe it, but they told me that. I can't get rid of my light.
My light is also.
I don't even know what diffusion
unable
means.
to purchase anything.
Really? So what are you gonna do?
I went with a shitty one, which I don't like.
I hate that light.
Yeah.
I don't like rechargeable things. I don't charge it.
He does not. What percentage is your phone on?
I don't like rechargeable things, he said.
It's a lot.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it looks like a solid.
25%.
that's crazy.
73%.
That's a lot.
Usually at 2. But yeah, I mean, I get it. But for one thing that I wanted to come here and tell you is that I thought that this article was angled in a way that they thought they were the minority case.
Yeah. I will apologize in advance because it's not going to stop from me, but I will be mindful to not interrupt people around me.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to wrap it up because
Yeah, and if you're mad,
To be
stay
more
mad. No, I'm just
aware.
kidding.
to be more aware of your
Yeah.
surroundings and.
I'm sure that was like the
mindful.
intention of it was to be mindful.
Well, you know, you're a journalist. I mean, these
Yeah.
days you have to be clickbaity.
Yeah.
And the title is very clickbaity.
Yeah.
You know,
They
a
have
lot
to
of
know.
people
They
should
work
use-
in food media. They know that it's necessary.
Yeah.
Is there comments? No.
On Eater? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know.
You should give the
No.
the article 1-star review.
No, I mean, I think that's right at the end of the day.
Yeah, and the picture is funny because they're shooting Crab Rangoon
with the
with the phone light and the
phone
handheld at the same time because that's 2 lights
A
We
crab
could show how
rangoon.
under the
obnoxious it is.
maximum.
Nobody ever does that, by the way. I don't think anybody ever does the light and a flashlight.
That would be wild. All right,
Cool.
Well, there you go.
that's it. So sorry, we're not going to stop the lights,
Sorry, not sorry.
But we are sorry.
but we're gonna
We
be
do apologize.
We do
more
apologize.
mindful.
Everyone is sorry except Paul.
Except
I am sorry.
No, you're
I
not.
don't. Okay, just think in the background.
He's sorry that you're mad. Sorry that you're mad.
I disagree with this.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.